Have you ever wondered about the bones of a story? What did the outline look like before the characters hijacked it? Ophelia Kee always wondered the same things about her own stories. As a discovery writer, the chaotic pantser style, not even the author knew how the tales in the Draoithe Saga would go until they went. Backward analyzing one story while busy writing the next tale or two somehow never happened. Apparently, OK put things off long enough, and some fancy computer magic will provide us with those long-wished-for story overviews. We can finally X-ray the tales from the dream and see their skeletons. Shall we investigate the next story in the dream?
Hey everyone, welcome. Today we are diving deep into the beginning of the fantasy novel Fire Incarnate, and we're going to try to untangle its epic opening. Seriously, get ready for a world where entire kingdoms are built with magic, an army is literally forged from stone, and a love story unfolds almost entirely in the dream world. Yeah, it's a whole lot to take in, so let's just get right into it.
We're kicking things off with this quote right here because, honestly, it's the heart of the entire story. This isn't just about magic and kingdoms, you see. It's about a romance, one driven by a fire elemental named Spark. She shows up looking for a safe place to land, but instead, she immediately takes charge of her own destiny, starting with the man she claims in her dreams. So, to make sense of all this, we're going to follow 5 key threads. First up, we'll get to know the sanctuary of Draoithe. Then, we'll see exactly how it's being defended by an army made of stone. After that, we'll jump into that romance born in dreams, watch an enemy's incredible journey to redemption, and finally, we'll zoom out to see the political storm that's gathering right on the horizon.
Okay, so where in the world are we? This is Draoithe. And you gotta understand, it's so much more than just a place on a map. It's a last resort. It's a sanctuary being carved out of nothing for immortals who are on the run from their past, for the broken, the hunted, the lost. This place is their one and only shot at a second chance.
And at the very heart of this whole project, you've basically got 2 people. First, there's Luke. He's the Alpha Pack leader. But he acts less like a king and more like a super stressed out CEO trying to manage a chaotic magical startup. And then you have Spark, the Fire Incarnate herself, who doesn't just find a home here, she becomes this absolute force of nature that completely reshapes it.
So, how do you protect a sanctuary that's filled with some of the world's most powerful beings? Not with simple walls, that's for sure. You do it with magic. And this brings us to one of the absolute coolest parts of the world building, the creation of a living, breathing army of gargoyles.
And this just shows you how deep the magic system in this world really goes. I mean, creating a gargoyle isn't just some simple spell you can mutter. No way. It takes the combined power of 4 elementals, the literal heart's blood from a dragon's spear, and a whole 5-day process to turn solid stone into sentient life. It's this incredibly complex ritual of sacrifice and creation.
But see, this isn't just about defense. For the Dragon Ember, it's deeply personal. This quote gives you a hint of his traumatic past. He was imprisoned and is just haunted by the memory of failing to protect a castle that was defended by these exact same stone creatures. So for him, rebuilding the gargoyles is his way of trying to rebuild himself.
Alright, so while Draoithe's physical defenses are being forged in stone and fire, Spark is off building a connection of a totally different kind. She's finding her fated mate. But here's the twist. Their entire relationship, the meeting, the connection, everything, it all begins and develops while she's asleep.
This timeline just shows how fast this whole dream romance escalates. It goes from a mysterious bear showing up in her dream to a full-blown spiritual bond in just 4 nights. He tells her he's a dreamwalker named Scar, and before they've even met in the real world, Spark has already claimed him, taking complete control of their fated connection. It's wild.
Now, to really get why this is so intense, you have to understand the life-mate bond. This isn't just finding your soulmate, it's more like an irresistible magnetic force that literally pulls 2 souls together. For shifters, this bond is everything. It's the very fabric of their society. It explains that immediate possessiveness and why, for both Spark and Scar, trying to resist is pretty much pointless.
And this is the crucial moment. Spark feels this fated pull, and she doesn't hesitate for a second. She doesn't wait around to be chosen. She does the choosing. She binds his very soul to hers, claiming him as her energy source. She completely flips the traditional paranormal romance dynamic on its head, perfectly embodying that quote we started with. I have chosen. You will not deny me. But Spark's story isn't the only one about transformation. We also get this absolutely incredible redemption arc for a griffin named Marchand. He actually starts out as the villain who's hunting Spark, but his journey becomes one of the most compelling parts of the whole story.
When Marchand gets to Draoithe, he is a completely broken man. I mean, he's a prisoner who has lost his honor, his titles, literally everything he spent centuries earning. He's so deep in his own despair that he's on the verge of just fading from existence entirely. He's hit rock bottom.
But then, Draoithe starts to work its magic on him. In this amazing twist of fate, Spark, the very woman he was sent to capture, offers him friendship. He finds a new purpose, helping to build the sanctuary he was supposed to destroy. And then, right in the middle of all this chaos, he finds his own life mate, which gives him a real reason to fight for his life again.
And this is the result. Look at that. He transforms from a prisoner with absolutely nothing to a leader in the new kingdom, an underking no less, as well as an ambassador and a fated mate. It's just a complete 180 that perfectly captures that whole theme of reinvention that Draoithe is all about.
Okay, so finally, let's pull the camera back. Because all these personal dramas, all these individual stories, they're all happening in the shadow of a much larger, much more dangerous game. An ancient power is waking up, and it's forcing a new order on everyone, whether they like it or not. So all around Luke, this ancient druid magic is reawakening. And why is that a big deal? Because this magic isn't just about casting spells. It's a force of order, the kind of magic that builds entire civilizations. And it is spontaneously creating a kingdom with an old Irish Gaelic hierarchy. Luke just wants a safe place for his people, but the magic has much bigger plans, forcing him into the role of Overking, or Re-Ruderick, with guys like Marchand and Scar as his underkings.
But you know how it goes. With a new kingdom come old enemies. And the main threat is a man known only by this chilling title, the Breaker. His real name is Recollet, and his crimes hit way too close to home. He's the reason at least 8 of the women at Draoithe needed sanctuary in the first place. And then, in a massive plot twist, we learn that he's just been captured by Scar and is on his way to Draoithe right now to face justice.
And so, all the pieces are finally on the board. We've got a new kingdom rising from the ashes, a stone army that's just starting to awaken, and a brutal old enemy on a direct collision course with them. And all of this brings us to the ultimate question. Can this fragile sanctuary, born from hope and magic, actually survive the arrival of its oldest monster?
I sincerely hope you enjoyed this view of a story skeleton, glimpsing the characters, setting, and plot structure along with the twists within the writing in this tale from the Draoithe Saga by Ophelia Kee. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more original stories and audio adventures. A special thank you to OK Music Writers for writing and for sharing the Enter the Dream soundtrack. It's more than a story, it's an experience. Welcome to the dream.